Hey guys, this video is about the latest news about Diablo 4 and a special announcement Blizzard made in their recent stream. Yes, that is right. If you haven't had the chance to play D4 so far, this is your time now. Blizzard is holding another beta from 12th to 14th of May, and this is your last chance to try the game before launch and to get your hands on the 5 classes and to pick your favorite class and build. If you reach level 20, then manage to defeat the world boss Ashava, you will be granted the new Cry of Ashava mount trophy at launch. Regarding the spawn time, every 3 hours starting at 9 AM Pacific Standard Time on Saturday until the server slam concludes. So this is another chance to get the previous rewards from the beta. If you haven't already, you can travel to Kyovashad and get the initial casualty title, and if you manage to reach level 20, you will also get the beta Wolfpack cosmetic item and early Voyager title as well. All players who unlock these items in the beta will also receive them once Diablo launches. Keep in mind, with this beta, it is a fresh start for everyone. Any progress you make in the beta will not transition to the final game. So what did they talk about the end game? The devs mentioned that capstone dungeons are required to unlock the next world tier, and this can be seen as milestones in the game, since you have to clear these dungeons to progress in the game. At world tier 3, sacred items will start to drop, and if you reach world tier 4, ancestral items in some places will drop. What is very interesting here is that one ancestral item is capable of changing your whole play style and your build. So we can pretty much assume that these items are pretty powerful. There are also changes to monsters. They are getting more difficult at higher levels. That means they get, for example, homing skills, they grouping up and get more access to new skills to make it even harder for you. Helltide. Cinders is a currency you can get if you participate in PvP. But no matter what, if you die in Helltide, you will lose half of your cinders no matter what. And before you leave an area, you should exchange your cinders, otherwise they will be gone. In addition to that, Helltide areas are rotating. Whenever they appear, the area they are appearing are fixed. There is also an incentive to farm crafting materials while Helltide is happening. Joey Shelley said in the stream that they are working on new fonts for better readability. So you can pretty much expect them at launch or later on in the game. There are also certain items that can change the way you play dungeons. They are also known as sigils. Once you have turned a dungeon into a nightmare dungeon, certain conditions also apply upon it. And one of it is that you can only revive limited times. The sigils are also tied to a level when you find them, and they change the outlay of a dungeon with afflictions. Nightmare spawns will occur and portals will open, and a new set of a monster family can appear in a dungeon that normally would not appear in that place. There is also a set amount of dungeon you can use your sigils on depending on the season. They will choose specific monster families. That way you don't have to focus on all the 115 dungeons every season. Furthermore, they talked about the Paragon board. You are able to put glyphs into your Paragon board and you can upgrade them as well. Let's say you have a set of sigils and that's not the ones you are looking for. You can also craft new sigils at the occultist. The Paragon boards have 4 types of nodes. These are normal, magic, rare and legendary. Magic nodes have passive effects and they will enhance, for for example, crackling damage if you play a lightning sorceress. Rare nodes are powerful right off the get-go, but if you hit the requirements, you can also unlock a bonus. For example, the bonus requires to reach 315 dexterity, so you have to work your way up to reach that number to unlock a bonus. Glyphs affecting nearby nodes, you can level up them pretty high, and they put an emphasis on this topic, and I think this is very interesting. And the only way to upgrade your glyphs is by doing nightmare dungeons. Based on player feedback from the open beta, they implemented these learnings and you can expect a new build for launch. These adjustments will be more of what you can expect at launch. They also touched the topic monster families, because in Q&A people were curious about this. So there are some monster families that have a chance to drop certain weapon types, like skeletons drop crossbows, irrespective of your class. Keep in mind that this is happening in the background and should be seen as a bonus or an addition to the loot table that monster provides. So you're basically getting bonus loot on top of the loot you would have gotten anyway. And there will be instances that you will find weapons your class cannot use. For example, you play a rogue and you find a staff, but you will be able to trade that stuff with other players. These bonus items are set to monster families. So you can expect maces, rings, swords, shields. They all have their own groups where you can farm them. This also applies to unique items. For example, you're looking for a dagger, then there is a monster family that has a chance to drop it. Let's head to the next topic, dungeon feedback. Mostly people complained about backtracking in dungeons, that you had to go to the entrance to kill one more monster so you can proceed. And the way they have fixed that problem is by rearranging the objectives. So you don't have to run back in empty hallways to kill two monsters that are hiding in a corner. And in instances where you have to kill a set number of monsters, let's say you have to kill 50 and you have slain 47, the remaining one will begin to chase you down or seek you out. They made an incentive collecting anima. These are the energy you have to collect in order to open a gate for a boss fight. By doing so, you will be rewarded with buffs, for example, resource regeneration for your class, or if you deposit them, you can get a health potion and other stuff they have planned for it later on in the game. It is also confirmed that there is no overlap map on launch, but they do not rule it out, adding it later on based on player feedback. That is because they want the combat to look as clean as possible and not having layers upon layers on the screen while fighting your way through dungeons. The devs reiterated many times if a feature is missing on a launch, they might add it later, like more choices when you're crafting. That is because it is a live service game and not everything will be available at launch. During the Q&A, the battle passes also came up as a question, and the way battle passes are designed is that everyone can complete it and get the rewards. So what do you guys think? Are you happy with the changes and the response of the devs that they are implementing player feedback, or are you still hesitant because they didn't add a feature like an overlay map? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the content and want more D4 updates, then you can like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys next time.